Hello everybody, now it is 3rd of August 2025, it's like 3:21 p.m. and I have just realized one very important thing, which is, uh, you know, I basically had a thought that Jordan B. Peterson recommended in one of his lectures at Stanford, I guess, and he said, if you want to improve your life, then go on your bed one evening and ask yourself, what is one thing that I'm currently doing wrong that I could be doing right? And I asked myself that, and I came to the conclusion that it is basically controlling my impulses, which are like when I feel overwhelmed or stressed, I basically have to just understand that it is normal to feel the urge to like go on Instagram or like watch porn. And yes, then I came with this idea like what to do instead of that, like where to come. And I'm gonna tell you guys, it is basically learning some Onshape courses, doing some trial and error in CAD, because bro, it is gonna grow your creativity so much. Especially when you build something in CAD with also with like trial and error, and then you go to like this 3D printing service, and you're like printing something, right? And then you like come home, you compare or unite all the objects that you created in CAD, you compare them with real life objects that you copied, if you copied them. And yes, and if you're not doing that, then you should basically code. Bro, just learn anything about tech, then do some trial and error. Basically, over time, this is gonna improve your intuition so much, your precision so much. So, yeah, but now it is especially true in computer-aided design, which is Onshape. Um, yeah, go and learn some official Onshape courses. Do an active recall of it in English and film yourself doing that, because bro, communication, it is very easy to grow in this skill, especially for you because you're talented in like accents, language accents, you know. And yes, I think this is something that I have convinced myself to do, despite the any fucking urges or temptations. Because when I truly believe something, I execute it. That is just my genetics, guys. I have to keep this video extremely short. I have to talk with my fullest energy and so on, despite anything. By the way, guys, here is my English or UK type accent. Well, in fact, I'm pretty convinced about that, and I cannot deny that at all, so that's it. Yeah, sure, you're definitely still working on your sleep, but that's a topic to discuss about in another day. After you will do this thing about CAD and controlling your impulses, it's gonna create a momentum, I promise you. I, I truly believe that you believe it, and I truly believe that you'll do and act instead of it, because you have done it already, just not enough times. So, bro, you decide whether you're strong, because you are already strong. You're already stronger than most people in the context that you can change. And if you keep your belief, then this change will last. And I think the easiest way to believe something, to continue believing in something, is to tie this to your soul, basically. I already know what is in my soul, and I think this is in a lot of people's souls. They just don't recognize it, because society basically always rewarded innovation and creativity. So yes, in my soul there's like a lot of innovation, creativity, exploration seeking. So yeah, what I'm doing right now, which is um, basically streaming toward more competence in tech. Um, is something that is tied to my soul. I mean, in technology, there is basically always innovation, and of course, in entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship and technology, there is basically always some evolvements going on. So that's all, guys. Now it's 3:26 p.m. 3rd of August 2025. I think I should always like say this with my voice and not like edit things here because it's much harder, you know. By the way, guys, I came up with this idea of basically, essentially, I have to every day like film myself in the evening, in the afternoon, and then in the evening, you know. And yes, probably I would post just. I mean, why not? I would post myself talking in English. If you want to see that, guys, you can look at that. It will be a video that is made apart from the others, where I kind of show how essentially my day like looked, and yeah, how's been going. So, you know, guys, I have found another reason to be extremely disciplined, consistent, and authentic to my soul. Well, authentic to my soul, it is obvious. It's more than obvious. It's the only way to achieve your full potential. Yeah, sure, there are exceptions though. Let me think of the exceptions. No, listen, I'm gonna procrastinate this thought now. Because I started this video for something else. Why do you have to be disciplined? Yeah? Consistent and so on. Because, you know, I'm usually very distracted, impulsive. I can even show you this. I can convince you about this just by telling you this. So, let's say that I'm gonna make a shower, right? Then I come into my room, because I want to basically like put a pair of put a pair of socks on me, and put like some boxers on me, right? But before that, I kind of like locked in my my door of the chambre, because, right, I don't want my parents to like enter in the room and so on. Like, who would want their parents to see them naked? Of course, nobody. And yeah, I can tell you that after this, I have to like bring the towel back in the bathroom, because, right, I had to come with a towel, you know, here attached, so that nobody would see me naked. And yeah, when I kind of have to like bring the towel back in the bathroom, I do things like this. I basically do this. No, sorry. So the door is like this, and then So the door is like this, and then I come to the door, and I do this. Right? Yeah, so I usually forget in the short term that the door is closed. It's locked in fact. Yes, but this time, after I made like a video explaining that, a video about how to actually motivate myself, to be extremely dedicated and competent and performant. After I made that video, I can very easily opened the door. I mean, I like, first of all, I locked the back. That stuff that kind of locks in the chamber, you know, like this one, you know. Yes, guys, I'll briefly tell you what truly motivates me because it's a private thing. I'm never gonna post it publicly. This video, yes, but that video, no. So let me tell you briefly about that. I am. So there is a certain primitive desire that every man has, right? So I kind of told myself that if you are gonna be as great, productive, competent, serious as you can, then that primitive desire of yours will be satisfied, all right? And will be extremely well satisfied. All right, guys. So I made a video about this, and after I made this video, it was like 2 minutes long. It was after I like came here in the chamber after the bathroom. All right. After I made this video, I was like very calm, very confident. You know, I basically did this. I was truly shocked. I didn't do it for such a long time. So what can I learn about this? Bro, next time, every morning you like wake up, remind yourself that your primitive desires will be like satisfied even more if you're even more dedicated, productive, competent, respected, right? The more dedicated you are, the more productive you are, the more successful you are, the more this primitive desire will be accomplished. And trust me, this limit goes until that of the richest man in the world, I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. By the way, guys, I think I have another idea for like how to improve my personal productivity. It is something private. I shouldn't tell you about this, but I will tell you. I think I should also like make private videos where I talk about how much money I have right now. You know, like these key metrics that indicate my success. You know, like how much money I have. Yes, actually, this is a key metric of success in my opinion, because I make the money, not money make me. The more money I make, the better I am. So, but yeah, another metric of success is like how many validations I get at my different products, how fast I ship things. I'm already doing this, to be honest. I'm already telling you like how many validations I get, how productive I am to my goals. So yeah, but this thing about money is also a very important key metric, like keeping your financials in charge. You know. So yes, I think I will do this in the afternoon. Yes, every afternoon. So guys, I think I would film like this. 5 minutes in the morning, I film private stuff that I shouldn't share with anyone, at least in the public space. And then another 5 minutes in the morning, I share public stuff that is accessible, should be accessible to anyone, but still transmits the essential message, which is very important. You get the same value out of my content. All right, and then we have like afternoon, right? You're gonna say some private things for 5 minutes, and there for another 5 minutes you're gonna say more public type of things, like allowed for the public to hear. And then like in the evening you'd say 5 minutes of private stuff, and then 5 minutes of public stuff, and so 15 minutes a day will be filmed and posted on YouTube. Sure, there is like something that is related to like how I speak in English, because I also post about that. So I think Yeah. I should create another albums. No, how do I say this word? Album. Spunem la album. By the way, I learn extremely fast all these words. Like I even remember that word. So when I'm talking to a camera that in general, when I'm talking something that I care about in camera, I have an extremely better memory. So I have I have an extremely better memory. So like I remember how I say this in English, which is a color marker pen. You know, like I basically learned this from like 10 seconds. That's just amazing. I'm just putting love. Bro, how do I pronounce album? If I was to use my intuition to its fullest potential, I guess, yes, let's remind myself of that primitive desire so that it would be fulfilled even more if I actually use my intuition to the fullest. This music album is in fact, yes, because this music album, of course, because this music album is in fact what influenced us significantly to make this decision, and it significantly impacted not just our mission, but our culture too, so.
Album.
I think I was pretty right, guys. So we say like album, you know. So let me hear the Cambridge translation of that. Cambridge album.
Album.
All right, we say it like album in UK English, but in USA.
Album.
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 Bro, it's basically like written the same. You see, guys? UK, US. But look how UK says it.
Album.
And US?
Album.
You see? I think US says a more precise but UK says it less precise by saying album. But the US album. So US album, and UK album. Yeah, like this. Alright, guys, so I was saying that given that I don't want to waste your time, I want you to see like exactly the essential parts of the day, like morning, afternoon, evening. If you want to see them, then you're gonna watch like this essential video for today, right? But there's like another videos that I'm gonna put in another album, but in the same section of building my dream of making $10,000 per month in personal profit. It's like 200,000 lays, and on 3rd of August 2025, you know. But honestly, I'm thinking more in euros when I hear about US dollars, to be honest, guys. US dollars. Because US dollars are in fact, US dollars are the ones that currently run the world. These aren't Chinese yuans, right? Yeah, wait. So this video that I'm doing right now, it's not essential. Oh, cool. But yeah, let me like I'm basically doing some meditation right now. You're gonna hear my monologue, internal monologue. But how do I organize the information that I say in the essential video for a specific day? Yes, that's a good idea. So let's talk about public because I know what to do about private, anyways. So public. In the morning, you're gonna say, I will follow my primitives. I'm following my primitive instinct today, which means no. This is what I'll say in the public. What affirmations, daily affirmations, I'll say in the public space. The more productive I am, the more I work, the more my primitive desires will be satisfied. Exactly. But this is something very obvious, to be honest. But it's still very powerful. It's simple, but it's powerful, which is very interesting, guys. Alright, besides this, I'd say how I feel, because I have to recognize it, but act despite of it. In spite of it, in fact. I have to say in spite of it, yeah. Forget it, I said despite of it. Because I'm saying despite the fact that, yes, I'm still working on my English, guys. Right, so what drives me, I'm gonna say. Then I'm gonna say how I feel. Then I'm gonna say some thoughts that make me want to procrastinate all the work and basically just make a research around them, or basically procrastinate if I'm not doing that, my gosh. But I used to procrastinate if I'm not doing them, sure, but you're asking yourself, but bro, better do that research, do not procrastinate. Listen, guys, in fact I procrastinate because I wanna work on my main goals, and when I'm procrastinating, I'm basically talking to ChatGPT like, how can I escape a cycle of procrastinate? Yeah, something like this, of laziness, of not wanting to do things, in fact. But yeah, I learned this a long time ago, but it was hard to apply, but I just succeeded to apply it, which is do things in spite of how you feel. It will create enough evidence that you're worth of doing them, and you'll do them in spite of the discomfort. And that is true, guys. I was in forced environments, in controlled environments, to do stuff that would eventually increase my confidence, and I think that was enough. But that combined with a temporary motivation that, luckily enough for me, lasts more than 3 months, which is the primitive desire. I feel it will last more than 3 months, unlike motivations like from Martin Luther King, which are, if you cannot run, bro, descend to all the types of movement, but in fact, if you cannot fly, but make sure you do not stay in the same place, bro. Like these types of motivations are like just for 3 months, but it's still very powerful, because most motivations that I have weren't fueling me enough to build the discipline that I need to continue. They were like lasting 1 day, bro. So it's very rare when I found such motivations. That's how I perceive the world, guys. Yet. That's how I perceive the world yet, guys. Yeah. So what would I say in the afternoon? Oh, so in the morning I also say, like in the public space, exactly what I'm gonna do. Mostly, yeah. But then in the afternoon I'd say what I was able to accomplish. Don't forget, guys, that my goal is still to wake up at 5 a.m. But even if I wake up at like 9 a.m. tomorrow, I'd still tell you guys like what I plan to do, so on. Even if I wake up during the school at like 7 a.m. and so on, I still do some CAD for 15 minutes, because this is extremely important for me. Trust me, guys. It's like my soul. Even if I'm not, in fact, I believe I will denounce discipline this in August so much that I'm gonna continue doing the CAD. Unlike the physics, because the physics doesn't directly bring me to my dream. But CAD does. CAD does. Because, bro, I'm basically creating a product in CAD the right way, and that is already validated by my local market. Unlike learning physics, who knows that LBUs will make a lot of money with physics, right? But I already know that I'll make a lot of money with this product. Guys, yes. Yeah, so in the afternoon, if it's school, I'd say I did in CAD that for 15 minutes in the morning, because in the afternoon I just come from school. But yeah, like, let's focus on August. In August, I'd say, like, in the afternoon, yes, I did this between these deep work hours. Then I'd say what problems, faults I encountered. So guys, it is very hard for me to believe it, but it is true. If some faults that come into your mind are important enough, then they're gonna pop up in your mind later too. So I told you guys that I have to become a better executive, not just dreamer. So yes, I'm gonna tell you in the afternoon every day that like all the thoughts that I had during the working session, whether it's the CAD session, whether it's the school session in the evening, you know. Yeah, I think I'll do it more in the private videos that I'm not gonna post, I guess. But in the public ones, I'm gonna tell you in general, like what thoughts came to me in terms of their field of problem, you know. Yes, I'll tell you about that, and I think it will last like 2.5 minutes, and then I do some pause, which you will be researching these thoughts if they are still important. Yeah, I think like if 20% of them remain, that is alright. It will take me like 14 minutes to find an exact answer from great informational sources. Then I tell you in the camera. I look later at my private videos. I tell the guy, bro, you already know what to do, but you're not doing it enough. Yes, so that's a common problem for a lot of people. But I'll tell you, I'm lucky enough to find like this important motivation that would fuel me enough to eventually build discipline. Because I'm being forced to be disciplined right now because of this motivation. But it won't last forever. But when it will stop, it will already be too late for me to not be disciplined. So yeah, I'll have another motivation. This is also very important, guys. It's probably a mission. So yeah, I tell you in the afternoon part, at the end of the video, in the afternoon part, I tell you this, how I manage my thoughts in general, but in the private part of the video that I'm not gonna post, I'm gonna tell, yes, tag, this is how you learn. I think I'm gonna talk that in English. Yes, definitely. So communication is very important. So that while you do that video, you're like checking ChatGPT, like how to say things, ChatGPT, like how to say things correct, and then how to write things correctly. So what word combinations are right, and so on. In the evening, I tell you like what is on my mind, how I feel about what I have accomplished, what I can do better tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. By the way, guys, I didn't tell you this, but this is extremely true, at least to some extent. You know, all the adversity, hate that you're getting right now, toward pursuing your very ambitious goals might just be a test that people you love or that people that love you are giving you to see if you are kind of on the right path. And if they don't see it, uh, and you continue doing this superficially, work on your goals, I mean, you're gonna split up. Your relationship will probably end because you'll not listen to them to stop. So yes, this is another reason for you to stay disciplined and not to give up. People might just be testing you. People might just be testing you. That's all. There is also this very important thing, which is, I don't know if you know, but there is such a quote. It's a very popular one. It's related to school fights and so on, which is stand out for yourself. In fact, stand up for yourself. Because you don't want to be treated badly anymore by the school bullies, right? You want to be respected, right? You have to learn, you have to teach society how to treat you by how disciplined you are, how muscular you are, you know, how successful you are. They might not even know it. You have to tell them this, but they'll probably hear about it anyways. Anyways, you have to respect yourself a lot, in essence, and you have to stand up for yourself. You have to not give up on your goals just when adversity starts to come in, right? Just don't give up on your goals. Bro, if you're gonna give up on your goals, or if you're not gonna be consistent, especially when your significant results show up, like money, $10,000 a month, let's say, $2,000 a month, especially here in Moldova, Republic of Moldova, actually. People will try to drag you down less when they see that you're disciplined. And most importantly, yeah, this is the fact. They might just be testing you. They might not even believe in themselves. Not mentioning believing in you, right? But they'll start believing in you once you show them not the results, first of all, I would say, but your dedication, your energy, most importantly, your persistence. They're not gonna say, but it's gonna increase their respect a little more. And then when something little actually works, most likely they're gonna observe it, or you're gonna tell them this. Yes, their respect will again increase even more. So that's all. Yeah, basically, guys, I told you like another reason to not give up, which is that society might test you. That's all.